Hey guys, so today I am here with Brian. For those of you that just recently subscribed or subscribed purely just for my pregnancy videos, you have not seen Brian in a while. He hasn't been on my channel in quite a bit, but he is my boyfriend. I'm just gonna kind of quickly introduce you, I guess. So yeah, we are boyfriend and girlfriend. We've been together, I guess, domesticated partners now.
Domesticated for 2 years, right?
Almost two years. We've lived together for almost 2 years, but we've been together for 4 years. So we've been together for quite a while. And we're going to get this question because I get this question a lot. But how old are you, Brian?
I am 20 years old.
Yeah, and I'll be 20 in 16 days.
Well, I'll be 21 in
6 months.
6 months.
So that's that. So we're both going to be young adult parents. We are not going to be teen parents by any means. We kind of got out of that, and so we are going to be, you know, young adult parents. But what can you do? What can you do? So in my week 25 pregnancy update, I asked if you guys had any questions pertaining to the pregnancy or the baby to go ahead and ask them in those comments. So we're going to answer them for you. First question, the first couple questions are, who chose the name, and before you found out the sex of the baby, did you think it was a boy or a girl? So who chose the name?
Kirsten chose the female name, the girl name.
The girl name. And
I chose the boy name, but we were both happy with what we chose.
Yeah.
You guys may never find out the boy name. I don't know if
that's
we
a question.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's a question.
I'll save that one.
We'll save that one for later. And then before you found out the sex, did you think it was a boy or a girl?
We honestly thought it was a girl.
I think, yeah, from the get-go, we thought it was a girl, like from the very beginning. What is Brian most excited about for having a child?
What am I most excited? I think I was the most excited one, to be honest.
I was excited. Don't knock me down a few pegs.
Chris was excited, but I'm ecstatic.
So what are you most excited about?
Having like a miniature person, like an extension of like who I am and who Kirsten is pretty awesome, honestly. Like you finally, more or less, it's like you have like meaning in life. It's, you know, you have a purpose now. Exactly.
You have a big responsibility.
Obviously.
This isn't like a kitten. This is a person. Are you planning on breastfeeding? I am going to try breastfeeding. I want to try, like, you know, obviously right after when we're in the hospital. I'm not too sure, you know, how it's going to work. I've never had, you know, that happen before. I've never done it. So, you know, we'll see if it works. I would like to try, and if it works, you know, that's awesome. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's different for everybody, but I would like to try.
I'm not going to be breastfeeding.
You know, but there is a pill, though, that people can take to lactate, so.
Maybe if Kirsten can, I will.
Yeah. What are you nervous about for the year ahead?
Nervous about the year ahead? Well, I mean, it's like you're bringing like this little human home, and I feel like I'm going to be the overprotective person. Like, I don't want people like coughing near her.
Hand sanitizer, we're going to have like
I don't want people like breathing. Like, I mean, that's normal, I guess, for first-time parents. It's just more or less, I'm gonna be very cautious, and I can see that me as a person, I'm gonna change a lot, and Kirsten's gonna change, and together, hopefully, like, we change together. Like, it's not like we have different views.
Well, we haven't really had any differing opinions at all. Like, we've pretty much agreed on everything.
Pretty much.
Like, everything so far, we've been like, oh, okay, we'll do that. Like, it's been really nice.
But
surprising.
We'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. What do you still need to buy? Well, there's a lot of things we still need to buy. Yes. We've had a baby registry, and we have our baby shower Sunday. Yes. So we've been kind of waiting because like our families haven't really gotten anything yet. So we're still kind of like up in the air about like, should we still get this? You know, should we wait?
It's not more or less we're depending on our parents to get anything.
We're just waiting to see if they get it.
A lot of our family comes through and says like, do you know how many people have come to us and be like, or like parents and stuff, they're like, we're gonna buy you a crib.
Yeah.
Well,
I think all of our parents
we don't have a crib yet. So it's more or less, it's getting closer to the point where we're calling on their bluffs. Like if they're not buying us, then we're gonna have
we're gonna buy it.
So like right now, honestly, we've been clothes shopping.
Yeah,
like, we have a lot of clothes.
And I'm fully expecting at this baby shower to just receive a ton of diapers.
Diapers, that's
which
what
I'm totally fine with.
Yeah.
I mean, diapers is fine. So I guess just big furniture. I mean, honestly, the necessities we still really need. Probably just a bassinet at this point, because we can get a crib after a couple of months. She's probably going to be sleeping with us for the majority.
And I mean, I fully expect this Christmas for Kirsten and I, it's going to be all baby stuff. So
I'm excited.
We'll see. Hopefully it relieves a little.
Yeah. Are you scared to go into labor or nervous about anything? I don't know a single person, new parent or even experienced parent, that is not nervous or scared going into labor. Like, I don't think I'm gonna be, you know, confident. Oh, thank you. Definitely not like gonna go in there confident, like, let's do this, like, because there's always, you know, a risk. There could always be a complication, like something could happen. So, you know, I'm definitely nervous, whether it be I do, you know, like a vaginal birth or I have a C-section. I'm scared for both. I mean, they're both pretty terrifying. And you know, I'm also nervous, you know, there could be complications during birth. We never know. So yeah, I guess I am a little nervous, but when the day comes, I'm sure it's gonna, like, well, it probably won't fly by, but it'll pass by.
I'm gonna be pretty nervous. I have a bunch of friends that have either had kids or are having kids.
Yeah.
And I just hear from their own situations, and it always seems like something goes wrong, just stuff doesn't go as planned, and it takes, you know, forever and a day.
This is a question that we got asked a lot. This was probably like one of the most asked ones, and it says, what type of birth control were you taking whenever you got pregnant? So, story time. I know this can be kind of like misconstrued, and a lot of people will take this like the wrong way. I have been off birth control for about 1.5 years now. I was on birth control for 2 years. I actually got on birth control like 2 months or something like that before Brian and I even started dating. So I've only been on birth control. I was only on it for 2 years, and I was taking orthotricycline low, which is a pill that you take every single day, and it was in a routine, whatever. When I moved to Virginia, we actually didn't continue with going to see the doctor. Like, I had like a 3-month prescription that I had, but we didn't continue going to see the doctor, my mom or I, so I never continued taking birth control. I actually got off of it. And so, you know, when I moved in with Brian, like we said, we've been living together for 1.5 years, almost 2 years now. This entire time I have not been on birth control, and I know a lot of people can take that and be like, well, you were kind of maybe asking to get pregnant, or, you know, there's always a risk. There's always a risk, even if you are on birth control, to get pregnant. Even if you use condoms, no matter what, there is always a risk that you can get pregnant. I highly suggest, you know, taking birth control, absolutely, if you're younger and you know, don't want to get pregnant and you plan on having sex. But, you know, I just wasn't on birth control, haven't been for 1.5 years. We were practicing safe sex the way we always have, and, you know, things happen. It's honestly, I'm a lot happier that it was with someone that I've been with for, you know, 4 years, I've lived with for, you know, 1.5 years, and, you know, someone that I love very, very much. This is our situation. It was a good situation.
It was a good situation.
This actually ended up being a lot better than it could have been, but I'm not upset that we got pregnant at all because of that. Like, you know, things happen. You know, of course, I wish it would have not happened, you know, so soon in life. Like, I wish maybe a few years down the line we could have gotten pregnant and had a baby, but, you know, things happen, and they happen for a reason. I'm a strong and firm believer in that. And
well, look, I mean, I don't want to say that Kirsten getting pregnant directly, like, corresponded to us getting an apartment and everything, but it helped us get more onto our feet. It
gave us a little bit more of a push, like, oh my gosh, now we need to get an apartment. Yeah. So it helped us. I mean, we've been planning on getting an apartment for a while. Yeah. That's why we moved to North Carolina, because we were not going to be able to afford an apartment in California.
If we were, it was just we weren't going to have lives.
We were just going to be working. You notice that you've been getting more emotional, and are you scared about, she says about being a young mom, but I'm just going to say about being young parents. I actually haven't been getting more emotional. I mean, I'm definitely more agitated.
Yeah.
But I'm not, like, cry.
No, she's not very cry. She was in the beginning. She gets agitated over small things.
And are you scared about being young parents?
Am I scared? I mean, everyone has that inherent
fear. Who's not scared about being a first parent? Yeah, I mean, I'm terrified.
I mean, there's all sorts of terrifying things. Like, you hope. I mean, it's just like how they say in the movies and stuff, and how everyone says it. Like, when you're about to become a parent, like we are, there's a lot of things you think about that you had never thought about before.
Things that you've never done.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't have a lot of them.
I think of, like, what if my kid is missing, like, a finger? Like, how is that gonna,
what do I do?
What, like, for the rest of my life, I have to, like, try and figure out ways to adapt to my
kid.
Like, I just think about so many different things because I'm a thinker, and I mean, it's scary, but I really can't wait to meet my little bundle of joy.
Who do you plan on having in the room with you when you give birth? I believe I'm only allowed to have 2 people, and I think I would only want 2 people anyway. There's no other person that I would be like, come on in. So obviously I'm going to have Brian in there.
Oh,
That's gonna happen.
I'm so honored.
And I want my mom to be there as well. My parents do live about 4 hours away, so I'm pretty sure as soon as I get admitted into the hospital, I'm not gonna like immediately go right into labor and you know the baby's gonna come out. I'm sure it'll be a few hours to, you know, a day of me in labor, so I'm sure my mom will be there in time. She plans on leaving as soon as I let her know. So Brian and my mom, but then if you have a C-section, you're only allowed to have 1 person since it's a surgery, and I'm opting Brian in.
Oh man.
Tag, you're it. So this is another question I think we got a lot. It's natural or medicated birth. I, by no means, do not want to have a natural birth at all. I do have a very high pain tolerance, but it's not that high. So as soon as they offer me the epidural, I'm going to take it. And if there's any other sort of medications that they want to give me for pain,
oh my God,
I'll take them.
Well,
I'm good.
To put it in perspective, our friend that we're referencing, she literally had her baby 2 days ago, and she's an all-natural buff. Like, she said she's gonna make her diapers and food and everything. Like, she is going all out about, and she opted in for an epidural. She said she could not take it. So
I can't take it. What has Brian liked about your pregnancy so far?
I've honestly liked the whole doctor's appointments and stuff. That's been really like not scary. Fun. They've been fun for me. I've gone to every single one.
Well,
boyfriend of the year.
First couple were scary because, you know, it's like your first initial appointment.
Yeah.
And we were just, you know, scared in general. And we've had like issues I've talked about where, you know, we couldn't find the heartbeat or we couldn't find her. But, you know, so those are scary. But other than that, the doctor's appointments have been fun.
Seeing, you know, the ultrasounds and stuff like that, that's like, there's no other experience that you can really describe.
It's a very exciting experience.
It is. I thought I was going to cry.
Cried, though. We didn't cry.
We didn't. It was more laughter.
Did you and Brian have a maternity photo shoot, or will you have one after the baby is born? We haven't had a maternity photo shoot. I don't think I'm quite big enough yet to do a photo shoot. I think maybe around like 30-some-ish weeks we could do one. And Brian's really great with a camera, so I don't think we're gonna, you know, go to somebody else. Brian would probably be able just to do all the pictures for us. Like, I'm even just planning on having you do the newborn pictures because I mean, obviously he can get all up in the baby's face and it won't be like an issue with me because, you know, that's dad. But
look for a video on Kirsten's channel probably in a month probably a month and a half, and we'll probably have a photo collage, if not after the birth, and just have them all together.
All together. Oh, this got 3 thumbs up. Could you guys tell us the full story of how you chose Avery's name? There's really no story. There really isn't. We had a few names, girl names picked out, but we just both really just didn't like them.
Do you want to say? I mean,
I've already talked about some of them. We had Lydia, we didn't like it. We had McKinley, we didn't really like that. And we just kind of like would just throw names back and forth at each other. We had a boy name picked out for the longest. Like, we've always had a boy name.
The boy name's been out there for a very long time.
But our girl name has always been kind of up in the air. So I think every day we would just throw names at each other. And one day I think I just threw out the name Avery, and we were just like, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. So we just kind of went with it. When will you start setting up the nursery? What color are you planning on painting the room? So we are currently in what would be the nursery right now. We're going to make it a nursery/office because this room is large enough to be one.
Yeah, it's another master basically.
But we can't paint it because we do live in an apartment complex, so we're not able to paint it. I don't think we would even paint it anyway. I mean, we could probably get like wall decals and stuff. Yeah. But like we said before, when we start getting furniture, that's when we're going to start setting everything up.
Yeah, more or less, like, we have new carpets in here as well. Yeah. So we didn't really want to take that risk. We haven't taken any crazy risks like that because, like I said, this apartment has brand new carpets. I think we're allowed to paint, but there's like a deposit or something.
You have to pay to paint or something.
And we really don't want to go with that. And we don't know how long term we're going to be in this apartment.
Yeah.
Setting up the nursery so far, like we said, we haven't gotten much of the bigger stuff like crib
furniture,
changing, that stuff.
Like
we have clothes, diapers, miscellaneous bottles, stuff like that. Blankets, yeah.
We have lots of miscellaneous things, but we're probably not going to start setting up until we actually get big furniture.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Brian, will you be taking time off work when baby Avery comes?
My boss came to me actually, and he said that I can have up to 2 weeks off. I don't know if I'm going to use the full 2 weeks.
You might want to. You
never know. That's what I'm saying. I may, but I don't know. It's more or less financially at the time, because 2 weeks off, I don't really get paid vacation. So if I'm taking these 2 weeks off, it's without pay. So it would depend on the time and stuff. I'm definitely going to take days off.
Oh, for sure.
I just don't know if it's going to be 2 weeks, or at least all at once.
This question was one of the questions that we kind of touched on earlier. It says, if you guys had a baby boy, what were you guys going to name him? We're just going to keep that to ourselves, I think. Just because, you know, maybe not in the near future. I'm talking like 5, 6, 7 years from now, we might try and have another baby, and it could potentially be a boy.
Yeah, and we wouldn't want to spoil that video for you guys. So.
Yeah. Does your stomach feel heavier the bigger it gets, or what? No. It doesn't feel heavier, you just feel wider, if that makes any sense. Like, it's not like weight, like it doesn't feel like an extra weight is being carried, like, I don't know how to explain it. You're just bigger, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, the heavier my belly gets, the bigger I feel, and the more I feel like a way down.
This says, hey Kirsten, I just have one question. When Avery is born, are you going to make videos less? If so, when will you upload videos? I have no idea. I mean, like we said, we're going to be first-time parents. I don't even know if I'm even going to be thinking about YouTube for the first, you know, couple weeks. Probably not, to be honest. But, you know, I will try and still continue to make videos. The uploads probably won't be as consistent as Monday, Wednesday, Friday like usual, but I definitely still want to continue doing YouTube videos. I don't think...
You also got to think there's a possibility, I don't know if she's thought of it yet, but of pre-filming and uploading, and if she's not doing that, I can help out with that. Yeah. We don't know, though.
We'll see.
We take things day by day. That's how we live.
Someone asked what is going to be Avery's middle name, and it's going to be Nicole. I think I mentioned this before, but her name's going to be Avery Nicole. Are you going to go to any birth classes or anything?
I believe we were offered some in the beginning, because, like we said, we're having our child upon a military base. Because
we didn't say that in this video, but we are having our baby at a base hospital, because we're both dependents. So we have the luxury of being able to, you know, go to the naval hospital.
The baby will be born at a naval hospital, so that means the Navy will be taking care of that. And with that, they offer a lot of classes and a lot of
which makes a lot of sense, because if you think about it, military families popping out kids left and right. Oh my gosh. I'm serious, it's true, it's true.
I mean, it's more or less family, EFMP. They have people that, like, if you're in the military, they have specialists that are trying to help you out in times of need, and a baby or having a baby would be a time of knowledge and learning. So they offered some to us. I believe we had one scheduled, and something happened. We couldn't make it to that one.
I think we actually had like a corresponding appointment.
Yeah, we had to reschedule.
We just couldn't go, yeah.
So we'll see in the next months if they offer more to us. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. This is another question that got asked a lot. Are you guys going to be vlogging during your labor? This kind of corresponds with the last question. We are going to be, like I said, I'm going to be giving birth at a naval hospital aboard a military base. You are not allowed to film inside there, which, that being said, I wouldn't want to vlog my labor anyway. That's something that I feel like maybe we would film, but that would be something we wouldn't share with the world. That's something we would share maybe among family.
And like we said, I mean, I wouldn't say we're going to rule the entire thing out. We're not going to be filming inside for you guys, to be honest. Maybe like
short, tiny clips of like her.
Of like us, or maybe like the arrival and stuff like that. I don't know if it's necessarily, it's not going to be me sitting in the corner with a GoPro. Like,
yeah, we have to be we're just going to have to be careful, because there are certain rules that we have to sort of abide to, and but I'm sure we'll film, you know, after.
It's confidentiality matters at the hospital.
Will you have more kids later on in life? We mentioned this, I don't know, not soon.
Honestly, I actually thought about this, because the first question people ask you is when you're pregnant is like, so when you're having
your next one?
Which is, it's like, well, I have to have my first one.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm going to have to go with probably 25, 26.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be open for 24 to 26, which is still soon.
No, I won't say 25, 26.
I mean, I really want a little boy as well, which would be awesome. And if I had 2 little girls,
that'd be fun too.
world.
So this person asked a lot of questions. I'm gonna try and go through these fast now because we just like to talk a lot, both of us, and I don't want this video to be too long. The first question is if Avery ever wanted to do YouTube, how early would you let her start? I think 13 would be a good age, depending on what she wants to do on YouTube.
Unless we end up like the Shaytards or whatever.
No, we're not gonna end up like them. No. Number 2, how does Brian feel knowing he's going to have the most beautiful baby ever?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm buying a shotgun.
Yes. Number 3, at what age will you allow Avery to start dating, middle or high school? We actually talked about this. We said middle school is the perfect time to like go to movies and stuff with boys. We don't have like an issue
It's
with
almost
that.
like the same thing that we were raised off of. Like, we were allowed to go to movies and like go to the mall and stuff when we were younger.
But I'm not saying like...
It wasn't more or less like...
Well, if you think about it too, in middle school, like going on like a date, like going to dinner and stuff isn't like the cool thing to do. I mean, it might be, you know, when she's older, but...
It's just different once a car and stuff comes into play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4, who will be the strict parent and who will let her get away with things? I think honestly we both are probably going to have the same parenting style, so I don't want there to be like a strict parent and a lenient parent. I want us to kind of work as a team, you know, because like I don't want her to like ask him and be like, can I do something? He says, go ask your mom sort of situation. Like I want us to both kind of be on the same page about that. What was it like for Brian the first time he felt Avery kicking or moving?
I mean, like I said, it was very heartwarming. It was like, wow, that's a real thing. Like, that's happening right now.
It's a real thing.
It's kicking and moving. It's saying, hey, Dad, what's up?
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's one of those experiences you can't describe unless you've been through it yourself.
Alright, so those were all of the questions. There was a ton of questions. There was 70 comments, but a lot of people asked pretty much the same things, so we were able to kind of get through them almost as fast as we possibly could. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video with Brian. It kind of gave you a little bit more of an insight into how he's feeling and like things that are going to be happening and stuff like that with the baby. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and subscribe to me if you're not already, and I'll put Brian's like social media links and stuff down below as well. And I will see you guys in my next video.